But first, we begin with breaking news. A scuffle between Occupy Boston and police breaks out tonight in Dewey Square. Officers making arrests as well. I'm Mark Ockerblum.
And I'm Shannon Malaire. Apparently, this scene all started over a kitchen sink, if we understand correctly. Fox 25's Bob Ward live in Boston. Bob, what can you tell us?
Well, Shannon, you're absolutely right. This did all start because of a kitchen sink. I'm in Dewey Square right now. Occupy Boston is behind me. Things have quieted down considerably, but this all broke out about an hour and a half ago when occupiers were trying to bring in a kitchen sink into their camp. Boston police would not let that happen. They seized that sink. They put the sink into a police truck, and occupiers surrounded that police truck for a few moments, refusing to let it pass. And that's when more Boston police were brought in. That's when the skirmish took place. At least 3 people were taken into custody. We understand one person was arrested for assaulting a police officer. We did get some sound from the Boston police. Let's hear what they have to say about this.
The officers removed their materials during the process. People sat down, blocked the street, surrounded the officers, and one of the police officers was assaulted. That individual who assaulted the police officer is under arrest. And some additional units were brought in, and things calmed down. People have gone back to normal.
And things seem to be normal right now, but I have to tell you, it appears to me that the occupiers and Boston police, both sides, showing an awful lot of restraint because things could have been ugly out here. We have the confirmation from Boston police in that one arrest. We're also hearing 3 people in total have been arrested or taken into custody. The others charged with disorderly conduct. So a skirmish here at Occupy Boston, kitchen sink, possession of a kitchen sink. The occupiers are trying to bring it into their camp, started this whole thing. 3 people at least taken into custody, 1 arrested at least, but we'll be able to sort this out, of course, much more a little bit later. For now, reporting live from Occupy Boston and Dewey Square, Bob Ward, Fox 25 News.
All right, Bob, thank you very much.
Continue to follow breaking news now. 3 Occupy protesters arrested for disorderly conduct this evening after one protester tells us that he tried to bring a kitchen sink into the encampment. That protester says it was all part of an effort to adhere to safety requests from Boston officials. Well, now that protester claims he was attacked by officers as he tried to bring a sink on site, in part to address health concerns raised in court today.
The police officer shoved me to the ground, and I tripped on the curb once, and shoved me. I didn't even trip. He shoved me to the ground, and all we were asking was, why can't we bring the sink in? I mean, we just have a sink to keep people safe, to have access to clean water, to have access to clean dishes, and the response is a shove to the ground.
All right, well, Boston police telling a little bit of a different story here. They tell us that 75 to 100 protesters prevented one of their vehicles from heading down that street. That's when the skirmish began. They brought in separate crews. The crowd dispersed. More on this just as soon as we get it.
We'll go back now to the breaking news from the Occupy camp in Dewey Square. 3 arrests there tonight in a fight the protesters say started over a kitchen sink, but police say it started with 75 to 100 protesters preventing one of their vehicles from driving down a street there. Philip Anderson of Occupy Boston joins me now live on the phone. And Philip, what did you hear about what went down there tonight?
Absolutely. So I was not at the camp when it happened. This is what I'm hearing through our media team and other occupiers who I've been speaking to. A sink was brought into camp. The police came in to remove that sink. They placed it in a vehicle. Some of the occupiers blocked that vehicle from leaving to determine what exactly was going on with the police and with the sink, and what the goal of all of this was. They did back off and allow the vehicle to leave. During that happening, 3 people were detained. I'm not sure yet of what the charges are. We don't really know why the police might have chosen to escalate that situation by detaining people for something, as simple as taking a kitchen sink out of camp.
Right.
So that's what we know as of right now.
Let me ask you this. I mean, the facts as we understand them to this point would be that they surrounded a vehicle, 75 to 100 Occupy protesters. Therefore, the police vehicle couldn't make its way down the road. And when that happened, obviously, arrests soon happened.
Yes, that would be my understanding as well. I was not 100% sure of the numbers, but I assume the arrest did take place because of the vehicle being blocked.
Do you get the sense of what's going on here tonight and what went on today in the courtroom, that this is coming to a head here in Boston, that your time in Dewey Square could be running out?
No, I don't see that at all. Our court injunction remains at least till December 15th. I would find it very irresponsible of the City of Boston or the Boston Police Department to take an action to evict us without going through the proper legal channels as laid out by Judge McIntyre today. I believe that there was some tension both on the police's side and on the occupier side because of the hearing today, because of some of the stress has been building up. As of right now, I believe the situation is mostly resolved. The police vehicle has been allowed to leave.
Very good. Philip Anderson with Occupy Boston tonight. Appreciate you joining us live on the phone to tell us more from your vantage point about the arrests taking place earlier tonight. Again, 3 people arrested at Occupy Boston.